So today we're going to talk about Valley Center, Kansas, which, as you may know, I actually live here, I work here, we run multiple businesses out of Valley Center, and it just kind of holds a near and dear spot in my heart. So, about 2 months ago, I did a poll on Facebook from all of my friends on there and the people that follow me of what is the pros and cons of Valley Center. Now, we're going to get into that, but first, I want to just kind of lay the groundwork on stats of Valley Center, how many people are here, average price points, kind of what's around here. So, I did some research, and right now, our average price point is around $250,000. We have just under 8,000 people here in Valley Center, which is, I'm not gonna lie, is actually a little bit less than what I thought it would be. I saw a couple places that put us over the $9,000 and even $10,000 mark, or 10,000 people mark. But according to the city, we have just under 8,000 people here. We do have a couple coffee shops, which is awesome. Local coffee shops. We obviously have local restaurants, and then there's those staples that you find in every small town. Your Pizza Hut, your Subway, stuff like that. We'll get into a little bit about what kind of groceries are around here in Valley Center. And then one awesome thing about Valley Center is we actually have a new rec center being built as we speak. It's actually supposed to open just towards the end of February, I believe, that has, swimming pools, basketball courts, a track, a gym, all sorts of stuff like that. It's going to be pretty cool for our community. So that is like our stats for Valley Center. So first I want to get into a few of the pros, of Valley Center. So according to some of the people that follow me that responded to my post, the few things that they love about Valley Center is that it definitely is a small town feel, which I totally get that. Like, we just redid the Meridian on the Meridian Street project. They put in all new streets, paved new streets, and they have these cool like lamps now, street lamps. They're not like normal street lights. They're actually very decorative and they look really cool. And the city actually just went through and I think planted like 80 some odd trees down Meridian also. So brand new trees that are going to grow, for as long as trees grow. Another good thing is obviously the housing here is pretty nice. We don't really have ran down areas or anything like that, which is awesome. That's good for curb appeal. That's good for just, how you feel inside about the city. We have some great local restaurants. So you have like Tequila's Mexican restaurant, which is awesome. Great Mexican food. It's quick. We've got Big Larry's Burgers, good little restaurant or little diner. Hamburgers, fries, shakes, stuff like that. We have the Hive, which is our local bar. Let's see, we've got, Subway. We've got a Chinese restaurant, Panda Kitchen here, which that's good, fast Chinese food. We've got the Pizza Hut. We've got Sonic. We've got Subway. Let's see. Our coffee shops. We've got Main Street Coffee. We've got Wildflower Coffee. We even got a Scooters. We also have a donut shop down there at Main or 5th and Meridian, which my son, we are habitual. We go through the drive-through probably 2 times a week, and on our way to school, I'll get him a thing of donut holes because he knows how to pull on my heartstrings for some donut holes. One person had told me that everything in Valley Center is pretty much walking distance. which is great. I mean, even as a kid growing up here, I walked just about everywhere. So you are within walking distance of your parks, Lions Park, McLaughlin Park, even the like city parks. So I mean, you're not far away from anything. So if you want to go out and play, take the kids to the splash pad, to the new swimming pool. Lions Park just did a renovation over their swimming pool, and you have a splash pad there now as well. And lots of people told me that it's just a good place to raise a family. It has that small town feel. Everybody knows each other, it seems like. And Valley Center tends to be kind of a generational town. So if you were born here, if your family was here, you're probably going to stay here more than likely. At least that's what I have noticed. Here in Valley Center, we do have lots of community events, whether that be put on by the city or the chamber, or just local business people or just local people in general, churches, whatever it may be. So obviously our biggest event here in Valley Center is actually put on by the chamber. It's called our Fall Festival. Typically it's in like the third weekend in September, third or fourth weekend in September. It's a big carnival, big fair, fair foods, lots of food trucks, Ferris wheel, the downdraft, like all the rides. It's really cool. It really brings our whole community together, and it actually brings in people from outside of Valley Center as well to see our awesome city. So that's pretty cool. There's also multiple Easter egg hunts throughout the city. During Easter, the Lions Club puts on one of the biggest car shows in the state of Kansas, right here in Valley Center, which not many people know that. But last year, I was talking to the guy that runs all that, and he said they had like 170 some odd cars show up for the car show, which is just phenomenal. Like that's incredible. If I was in charge of a car show to that extent, like I wouldn't even know where to start. Now they've been doing it for a long time, so obviously they have some. They went through the growing pains. They know what they're doing and all that. But car show, top notch here in Valley Center. Another cool thing is we have Trick or Treat Main Street, which there has been just hundreds and hundreds of kids that come out in their costumes, and we just line Main Street with people handing out candy. Like kids go home with bags of candy. It's ridiculous. A few other people had mentioned, there's low crime here. We have top rated schools. So Valley Center schools are top rated in Kansas, which is awesome because I can't wait to send my kids to Valley Center. I went to Valley Center growing up, and I feel like I did all right. So I'm excited to send my kids to school as well. And one of the last pros that people had mentioned was Valley Center is far enough away from Wichita that you're kind of away from the hustle and bustle of the big city, which that helps. We're close enough to Wichita that if we really need to go to Wichita, we can. We can just hop on the highway and we're there in 15 minutes. So now let's go into some of the cons that people have said about Valley Center from my research that I had put out there a few months back. One of the biggest things that people said was that there's no grocery store here anymore. Now, I get that, but there's just a Leakers Family Foods right down the street on Broadway in Park City. I get it's not actually in Valley Center anymore, but we're only like 2 miles away from Leakers. And then I want to say like Walmart is like less than 5 miles down the road. But, obviously you can shop local, go to Leakers, or, Walmart's Walmart. They're just down the road as well. One of the other big things that people were talking about is, we don't have like a dedicated breakfast restaurant anymore. Well, I don't know that we really ever did, unless I know there was Betty's Country Kitchen way back in the day, but I don't remember if they did breakfast or not. But we do have the donut shop. We have the multiple coffee shops. So I mean, not like a sit down, bacon and eggs type of restaurant, but there is a couple options as far as some breakfast here in Valley Center. Another thing is our extremely high water bills. At least that's what people are saying, is the water bills are extremely high. I've lived with it for 30 years now, so it's not, it's not anything different than what I'm used to. I actually was talking to the city administrator, and Valley Center is actually in the works of getting their own water treatment plant, to where it'll actually cut our water bills in half, he was telling me, which is a huge thing. Like, that's going to be huge for people. And that'll save people $50 or $60 a month just on their water bill alone, which I don't know about you, but I would definitely take $50 or $60 a month extra in my pocket. One thing that we also kind of have a hard time getting around is property taxes. I mean, it's not just here, it's everywhere. Property taxes are going up. It's not anything that we necessarily can do other than talk to your local elected officials and see how they're handling all that. Ultimately property values are going up. It costs more to rebuild, so like your insurance cost is going up as well, which then your taxes go up. Things cost money. There's not really a whole lot we can do for that. One of the other things, and one of the last things that people had mentioned, was there's not really a whole lot of entertainment around Valley Center, but there is a lot of events that go on, sports for the schools that go on that people could go to. We had touched on all the events earlier, and basically if you are looking for something to do, you're not far. I mean, there's always typically something going on in Valley Center, or if you don't like what's going on, you could always go to Wichita, and there's bowling alleys and all sorts of stuff like that. But obviously we want to support our local people as much as we possibly can. So to kind of wrap this thing up, ultimately Valley Center, I think, is a great spot. You're far enough away from Wichita that you kind of have that small town feel. Everybody knows each other, like we had talked about, and there's something about Valley Center that it just I don't know. I don't really have any desire to leave it. Our Wichita metro area, I always tell everybody, is the biggest small city there is, because even Wichita, 15 minutes to the south, I mean, they only have like 400,000 people there, and some of the other cities that you travel to, have millions and millions of people, and that's just something that we don't have. You can get from one side of the town to the other in 15 minutes, and I think that's what's awesome about our area, is it's small enough to where we can still have a one-to-one conversation with somebody and it means something, and we're not just trying to get on to the next thing. So obviously every city is going to have its pros and cons, but we have to really just kind of ingrain ourselves in that city and really pick where we want to be. And that's kind of why I chose Valley Center, because I love it here. I grew up here. My family runs a business here. I run a business here. My kids have friends here. It seems like our whole life is right here in Valley Center. I'm happy to say that we'll be here for a long time. So I appreciate you watching. If you find this beneficial, feel free to share it with somebody else, and we'll see you on the next one.